In the world of Naruto, death is never just death. Some die as heroes, some die as villains, and some die carrying secrets the world will never know. From a teacher who fell alone, to parents who never got to raise their child, to a brother who chose to be hated just to protect one person. But the question is, whose death hurt the most? Not the most violent, but the one that left the deepest scar in our hearts. Prepare yourself, because this top 7 saddest deaths in Naruto isn't just emotional. It will remind you that the greatest sacrifices are often made in silence. Number 7. Zabuza and Haku. The deaths of Zabuza and Haku were among the earliest moments in Naruto that proved this anime was never just for kids. Haku died first, sacrificing his life without hesitation to protect Zabuza, the only person who ever gave his life meaning. He didn't see himself as a tool. He chose to become one, out of love and loyalty. Zabuza, known as the Demon of the Mist, mocked emotions his entire life. Yet when he realized Haku had died for him, everything broke. For the first time, Zabuza cried. Not out of weakness, but regret. Mortally wounded, he asked to be laid beside Haku, admitting that the boy was more than a weapon. They died as enemies of the world, but together in the end. Their deaths taught Naruto a painful truth. Even the cruelest shinobi can still love, and even monsters can have hearts. Number 6. Asuma Sarutobi. Asuma Sarutobi didn't die as the strongest ninja, but as a mentor and a soon-to-be father. During his battle against Hidan, Asuma knew his chances of survival were slim. Yet what made his death truly heartbreaking wasn't the final blow, but the calm moment before it. With his remaining breath, Asuma gathered his students, Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji, and delivered his final words. He didn't speak of revenge or hatred, but of responsibility and the future. When he mentioned Kurenai and the child he would never meet, the scene became painfully human. The burning cigarette in his hand symbolized a life slowly fading away. There were no dramatic screams, no exaggerated heroics, only acceptance and peace. Asuma's death was quiet, sincere, and real, and because of that simplicity, it became one of the most emotionally devastating moments in Naruto. Number 5. Obito Uchiha. Obito Uchiha's death was the end of a life shaped by loss, manipulation, and regret. Once a kind and hopeful child who dreamed of becoming Hokage, Obito was crushed, both physically and emotionally, by the horrors of war. After witnessing Rin's death, he abandoned the world he believed in and chose a path of darkness. For years, Obito became the shadow behind countless tragedies, hiding his pain behind the mask of a villain. Yet in his final moments, he finally returned to who he once was. Obito chose to protect Naruto and the ninja world, sacrificing himself to undo the destruction he helped create. What made his death heartbreaking was the realization that his redemption came far too late. He died knowing he could never erase his sins, but hoping his final choice would mean something. Obito didn't die as a hero, but as a man seeking forgiveness. Number 4. Minato and Kushina. The deaths of Minato and Kushina marked the tragedy of Naruto's life from the very beginning. On the night of the Nine Tails attack, they made the hardest choice any parents could make, sacrificing their lives for their child's future. Minato, the 4th Hokage, sealed Kurama inside Naruto, fully aware that this decision would condemn his son to a life of loneliness and pain. Kushina, despite being fatally wounded, used the last of her strength to restrain the Nine Tails and protect her newborn. In their final moments, they didn't speak about war or duty, but about love, hope, and apologies for not being able to watch Naruto grow up. They died, shielding a child who had yet to understand the world. Their sacrifice wasn't just the loss of two great ninja, it was the loss of Naruto's childhood and the foundation of his strength. Number 3. Neji Hyuga. Neji Hyuga was the symbol of rebellion against destiny. From a young age, he believed that a person's life was decided at birth. Over time, Neji changed, learning that people could choose their own paths. Ironically, his death came at the moment he fully proved that belief. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Neji sacrificed himself to protect Naruto and Hinata from the Ten Tails attack, using his own body as a shield. A single fatal strike ended his life instantly. What made his death truly heartbreaking was its meaning. Neji did not die because of fate, but because of choice, a choice to protect the people he cared about. His final words strengthened Naruto, as if passing on his hope for the future. The boy who once hated the Hyuga clan system died with quiet acceptance, finally free from the destiny he once despised. Number 2. Itachi Uchiha. Itachi Uchiha died as an enemy, even though he spent his entire life as a lonely hero. He carried the greatest sin to prevent a civil war in Konoha, slaughtering his own clan under the village's orders. To the world, Itachi was a traitor, but in truth, he was a victim of cruel choices. He lived with illness, hatred, and lies, all for one purpose: to protect his younger brother Sasuke. In their final battle, Itachi deliberately lost, allowing himself to die by the hands of the person he loved most. The faint smile on his face was not from victory, but from relief. His mission was finally complete. His last words, "Forgive me, Sasuke," were not just an apology, but a silent confession of love. Itachi did not die because he was weak. He died because he was strong enough to choose sacrifice over hatred. Number 1. Jiraiya. Jiraiya's death was not just the loss of a legendary ninja, but the loss of a father figure to Naruto. During his mission in Omegakure, Jiraiya had a chance to escape and survive. Yet he chose to stay for one reason: the truth. Facing pain alone, Jiraiya fought until his body was completely broken, losing an arm, his voice, and his strength. But the most painful part was realizing that his former student had become his enemy. In his final moments, Jiraiya smiled and left behind a secret message for Naruto, believing that his student would one day change the world. He sank to the bottom of Omegakure's waters, alone and unseen. Jiraiya died without victory, but his legacy lived on through Naruto. He may have fallen as a warrior, but he succeeded as a teacher, and that is what makes his death unforgettable. These deaths didn't just end lives, they changed everything. Each of them left behind pain, lessons, and sacrifices that shaped the ninja world forever. They remind us that in Naruto, true strength isn't about winning battles. It's about what you're willing to lose for the people you love. So now it's your turn. Which death broke you the most? Comment below, and if this list brought back memories you'll never forget, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a true Naruto fan.